Эй, йоу, дорогие мои друзья, с вами Мунлайт и добро пожаловать на стрим по Disco Elysium. Будем сегодня с вами вновь продолжать проходить эту игру. Вчера прям мне зашло, понравилось, было интересно, такая специфическая атмосферка у нас появилась в игре. Мы даже 2 раза умудрились умереть, хотя казалось бы, как можно-то? Просто потрогали рычаги в машинке и все, серденько прихватило. В общем, дорогие мои друзья, будем сегодня продолжать пытаться расследовать дело о загадочном убийстве и висельнике на дереве, которое висит там, но уже, считай, с момента вчерашнего стрима прошло 8 дней. На вчерашний стрим было 7, сегодня уже, считай, 8. Он там висит, никому не мешает, разлагается по-хорошему, а мы как бы и не торопимся расследовать все это мероприятие. В общем, дорогие мои друзья, устраивайтесь поудобнее, несите чаёк, кофеёк, всякие вкусняшки, которые вы там любите, а мы потихонечку начинаем. А курсор мне не дадут сегодня, да? Ироды, курсор-то отдайте. Вот, дали курсор. Взяли, вот, что значит игра-детектив? У тебя даже курсор в меню спиздили. Так, на чем мы вчера остановились-то? Мы остановились... Блять, на чем мы остановились-то? Поговорите с Гартом, лейтенант. Между ними определенно что-то есть. Вы должны помочь собрату в этой любовной передряге. Дайте Грату ценный совет. Расскажите об истинной природе женщин. Да, вообще не вопрос. Я ж тот еще этот, как его зовут, Ловелас. Рок-звезда, там все дела.
What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll...
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that. What?
By the way, you should come back to this
Я бы уже давно ему
questionnaire
втащил.
if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Угу.
God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him.
У меня нет другой опции, типа кнопки назад.
Of course you do. This was your plan all along. This is how you fix it for them. By
Блять,
answering the woman question.
Блять. Но все же не так.
Wonderful.
It is. It's wonderful.
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel?
Просто бурить щеку языком изнутри.
God, does it mean you talked to her? What else did she say about...
What else do you need?
А как вот изобразить, как жизнерадостно крутиться? Блять, почему тут нету всех вот этих анимаций?
The man leans his hands on the counter and sighs.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I found it on the ground with a broken wing. I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off. I should stop.
Or you broke the bird. It can also be that. I think Sylvie even...
Жизнерадостный. Уи! Уи!
Yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
ПК.
No, it was her. She's off to ride that carousel you told me about. Cock carousel. I understand now. They ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, have the rest. Now let me have a drink and
О,
think about
красный
this shit
командор.
for a moment on my own.
And there we have it. Isn't that beautiful?
В смысле? Лэд. Хорошо, ладно. Смотрите тело жертвы. А мы не можем. Смотрите еще. У нас нет, не хватает данных. Запросите дополнительный бюджет в участке. А мы же уже вчера пытались, нас послали. Так, сохранить игру. А, вот давайте вот это будем использовать. Только не пей ее, а то опять забудешь, кто ты. Но не, в этот раз там меньше. Инвентарь, журнал, карта, шкафчик мыслей, страница персонажа. А зачем вот это вот? Ничего ж не происходит. И кнопки нет в
Inside, we see
инвентаре.
a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Right.
10-4, come in. Fireworker. 10-4, I hear you. What does he want now? He's asking for money. Is he fucking... I don't think he is. Don't give that asshole anything. Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
Давайте в этот раз вот
He
так
says he's
попробуем.
in trouble. Well, I guess he'd better cry.
А, мы уже
said-
пробовали.
He says it's important. He isn't getting a rent. Request denied, sir. Over. Listen. It's okay. You can do it, sir. Over.
Приветствую, Андрей Рогозин. А мы продолжаем веселье, безудержно стримать текстового геймплея. Ну, Геншин же вам не нравился. Так что вот вам карусель хуев, как выразилась Екатерина, которую мы вот недавно озвучили.
What is he saying? Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your colleagues are also here. Over.
He's trying to keep you from further embarrassing. What? I thought you had your shit together. This is nearing a...
Let us address them now, sir. Over. Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got 10-12 visitors present here. Over. 10-4. Well, that's, Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on this? He asked if he ever told me about his days. For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop wasting time. Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says... So, was there anything else?
Ну, все остальное мы уже
Understood,
нажимаем.
sir. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
вообще можно... В таком огромном мире, может, рано или поздно вы случайно запнетесь об него. Чудеса случаются. А давайте попробуем еще раз подняться наверх. Значит, там была какая-то дверь, которую мы не могли открыть, или что там возле шкафчика? Точнее, возле зеркала.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on somewhere inside. Still no answer. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Угу. Так, а как мне можно взять в руки? Ладно, давайте вот так вот.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that if it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
Ну не надо, ну дядь, ну пощади себя. Нет, ты же в запой уйдешь. Да.
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. Not really. Oh must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head.
Вправо и улыбнись до зубов. Надо сфоткать первую стадию, как они. Нет.
Sometimes you like to
А
add
я на
finger
такой не
pistols
пойду.
to the mix.
Ой, да,
Because,
мне надо не
unlike
бриться
Guillaume
сначала,
Le Million,
пистолет.
you are a police officer. It's your nifty... You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to.
Так, где сумка? Инструменты. Мне нужен болторез. В левую руку.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face.
Думаешь, мужик на первом
adorned
фото? На первой
with the
стадии? Нет,
expression.
он уже за гранью алкоголя. У него, между прочим, у него была запойная ночь. Просто апокалиптических масштабов, как это было сказано.
The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Ну, я проебался. Ладно. Давайте назад.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all, the man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor. He nods.
No problem, officer.
Где я мог выебать свое гребаное удостоверение? Говорите себе, этим лицом. У меня не было запойной ночи. Возможно, к сожалению. Кем, тебе нормально? Почему я во вторую дверь не могу постучать? Это что? Какая-то хрень, восстанавливающая здоровье. Давайте похилимся. А то, не дай боже, сейчас что-нибудь произойдет и
Hello,
пипец.
sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
Почему у тебя не было запойной ножи, а у твоего персонажа была? К сожалению.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. In a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city. I haven't seen very many other cities personally,
Зачем
but
будто помидоры?
everyone says so. Revachol
опять
is
накрыло
a rare
ностальгией.
jewel. This city
Это
used
мы
to
его
rule the
жгли, не
world,
помню уже.
though it has seen better
Подавали
days.
самодельную шау.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
Управляй, надо же как-то погружаться в игру и понять своего персонажа. Первый шаг — это запойная ночь.
I can tell that this is
А
taxing for
дальше
you, so
что?
I'll just ask
В
one more
милицию
question.
поступать?
What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own.
But they still have cops.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status, but we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the...
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much. A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. Someone more educated in sweeping matters.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Mars.
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
Of course, dear.
Кстати, тактично зовет людей здесь. Могу не тактично позвать. Правильно, нечего там сидеть. Надо тут сидеть. Так, давайте вот с этим пообщаемся. Че он тут стоит?
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Здесь надо везде по возможности. На всех стульях, так сказать. Именно.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils.
Одним
This
полупопием на
man
одном,
has a
вторым
barely suppressed
полупопием на
performative
другом.
streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up. making demands, no way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us
Не
do.
будет от меня пока что неловко раздражающих заднеприводных шуток.
Us lorry
Удивительно.
drivers. Cam, your nurse. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Башни проведения, иначе.
Ask
Что, может, ты
for
еще
his
и на Twitch
conclusion.
пойдешь тогда?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Это слишком для него.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident.
Привет,
been making
Дима,
headway
привет,
in the
чат.
Ill-Iran
Привет,
market lately.
Ваня. Как твои дела, дорогой?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Что у тебя такое? Что грусть? Что делаешь? Стипендию не платят. На донат в Геншин не хватает. Крутки кончились, на хиду не выпал. Женщины. О, соболезную, дружище, соболезную. На хиду так-то выпал. Ладно.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machines?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Ну, на эмпатию даже не это.
Don't be a stranger.
Ну, конечно, с разбитым сердцем, но держусь. Вот библиотеку дважды уже прошел. Слушай, не заморачивайся на эту тему. Жизнь такая штука. Меня вон жена моя с какого? Класса с 9, наверное, динамила. Поверь мне, тут будет 2 выхода. Выход номер 1. Она образумится и все встанет на свои места. Выход номер 2. Она дура и нахер не нужна. Всё.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea.
На себе
It looks as if it's
разворотила.
being reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Не ко второму склонюсь, потому что я инициатором разрыва. Тогда вообще какой смысл горевать?
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain
О,
of
это на самом деле
Revachol.
самое херовое.
His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. Philip III's ludicrous bronze likeness looks defiant. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet?
Называется правильно, что нашел. Прикинь, что в отношениях потворил, чтобы человек с такой гнильцой.
Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
Как же в него стрелять-то надо было? И
The
откуда?
king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
О, ты кто?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. No response wherever this woman is.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
Странно. Что-то ты подозрительный какой-то, дядь. Иномарк в хорошем состоянии. А движок где? Эй, машущий.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work! Right to work!
Кстати, как я понял, еще еще с вашим переводом игру проходил. Я пытался ссылки найти, может, вам дань какое-то уважение было. Ничего не нашел. Не, он вроде бы говорил на стримах, и ссылки в начале были. Геншин нынче. Ну, что ж, и затянуто. А так, в целом, достаточно прикольно. Ну, во всяком случае, из всех, скажем, ММОшек, которые я пытался сейчас залететь, найти, чем бы себя поразвлекать, Геншин выглядит самым таким относительно адекватным. Адекватнее только Warcraft, но его хрен купишь.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
700 дней от войны. Господи.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Зови меня Маньяна.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open, and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
У меня там что ли тут один герой. Господи. И где столько кристаллов-то нафармил?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers. Not like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Psst. Show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife? You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth. The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic. Then...
But that's not you, officer. From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago John? Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How...
Now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. Sorry.
Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again? He should watch his step, that John. Can I have the...
No. It will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that. So, what do you need? My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage...
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini Supremacy is there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Stop.
Неправда, все вот мелочи какие-то.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or maybe it actually is completely impossible. Sure.
Давайте попробуем.
Yes?
В случае забастовки откройте крышку, нажмите на кнопку. Дайте-ка я сохранюсь, а то я подозреваю, сейчас мне дадут люля. Я опять отъеду. А, то есть с этим нельзя поговорить.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own...
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend.
Ладно, рад был повидаться. Может, на гашню приду еще. Давай, буду ждать. Спасибо, что заглянул.
This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning. Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You gave the world eugenics, electricité, and powerful. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed
Объяснимо
with
помешанными на
sadness
картошке
and with
Гойко.
frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. The best idea.
Вообще никак.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayerlight. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Отвратительный раз хотел педрасти, пожалуйста.
I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need to first learn about Type A.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just won't make any...
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My peoples...
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant. You're welcome.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North.
Мы же изначально спрашивали про группу А,
all
нет?
have type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produce, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite superrace. That is all. There are no more type A races in the world. Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier.
The Koikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are often pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb. And the Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potard. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simonese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature. Not the base inner spoilage called Revacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Two mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
Кокаин. Да.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia.
Из сапога должен был высыпать.
Hereditary
Из сапога он, судя по всему, высыпет сейчас только картофель.
But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate enough of Tibet mediotypes. CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. It would be cruel to entertain ourselves with their deformities. Were there any able-bodied race, you understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery. let alone solved it. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Мне теперь надо где? Современно 1:40, ёпта. Давайте сразу еще вот эту до кучи.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Так, а теперь нам надо где-то время. Что? А этот что стоит? Наборщик расист.
Don't you welcome to Revacholmi. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Так, что у нас тут? Эта информация у него что на лице написано? Похоже.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10.
Oh, that's the tear machine.
О, надо найти пакет и тащить сюда бутылки
You see
из
several
ближайших
packaged
мусорок.
raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Нет, покупать я его точно не хочу.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoat. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles. Their logo is the bloodless rose. Pure white, untouched.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Угу. Угу. По-хорошему можно вот эту вот хрень купить, чтобы в случае чего отхилиться можно было.
Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere.
А у меня нет денег. Точнее, деньги-то есть.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Guess not, no. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that.
О, красный командор. Водка, выдержанная в серости. Так, Мун, что? Что, Мун? Мне посмотреть уже нельзя? Я просто прицениваюсь. А, ну мы и назад вернулись. Угу. Российские календари вам лента. Огромное спасибо. И как только появится, я сразу тебе скину. Привет.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your...
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
О!
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue.
Super material. Good. Ведь мы забыли взялся. Да.
Alright, but these actually make your vision worse.
Выбираю очередной пак материалов, который бы купить надо.
Wow, officer, you look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
-1 восприятие, +1 внутренняя империя. Пока не хочу. Не уверен, что оно нам надо.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes. Smell.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics.
Save the economy. That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong. The box smells like cat piss or like
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Поношенное, чтобы выглядеть с иголочки.
something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek, a windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $450 for you, sir.
Плюс одно самообладание, минус один трепет. Это, кстати, интересно, наверное. А у меня сейчас что? Плюс один полицейская волна. У нас очков опыта нету. Так, а давайте-ка вот сюда сходим. Но тут деды играют. Ну, а вот и хилочку нашли. Не пришлось ничего покупать. Красота же, красота, я считаю. Ёп, такой уж. Чё тут всего так много-то? Без женщины, надо почти проста, да и...
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of captains engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Heimdall burning. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar.
It's the man from Heimdall.
Walking away from his burning village, yes. The man from Heimdall is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla. Mostly what is nowadays ARDA NFD. In fact, most people don't think that man from Heimdall ever really existed. But they are wrong.
Heimdall isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But both the man and Heimdall are an ontological necessity. But hey.
Wow, what?
I mean, even if the man from Heimdall didn't exist before the adventure novels.
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Heimdall, and watched northern lights travel across the sky.
It's for the best, because Heimdall is not a real place,
потому что в этой игре можно
he
стать
could not have
коммунистом.
gone there.
Надеюсь, намек понят. Слушай, я еще толком не разобрался, что тут можно и куда нас это все приведет.
His theory isn't exactly.
Пока что я сижу и пытаюсь
but
тыкать
its logic
наугад.
does suggest some
2 раза сдох.
unusual neural activity. Interesting. Smells like worn cotton and a little old worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian nights.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels
Есть
and
продолжение
tall
эксплуатации
sticks.
рабочих, а еще они существовали почти всю историю человечества. Но это лучше, чем сказать в тотальную диктатуру и бедность.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just
не
broken
удалось.
toys. The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself, silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by, nocturnal animals climbing on the roof, airship rotors, that kind of thing.
Специфичненько.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Блядь, да что ж все так дорого-то, а?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but this would make quite a statement in your living room. The light pole has been... This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real.
Ёпта.
A bargain, I dare say. Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
Мне просто интересно, как в этой игре может пригодиться спиленный уличный фонарь. Опа, это что за чел стоит? До среды 7:15.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks again. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock. Wasn't there a sign over there saying...
G'day to you, officers.
Ударишь им кого-нибудь. Ну да.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershell.
Следы от шин. Серьезно.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the waterlock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes? Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the waterlock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7:15.
The coast part of the map is inaccessible until the third day.
А вот, собственно, и следы шин, я так понимаю, да? Типа врынь и полетел. Так, давайте сохранимся. И опять пошлите к дедам.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to...
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask... No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
Could the objective of the game be to throw the metal ball so it lands?
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore.
I hope you pass out from it, you goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
Trying to throw something as close to a predetermined point as possible.
Просто каждый раз, когда супруга жалуется на то, что у нее болит спина. Надеюсь, от спины ты и сдохнешь, медуза ты чертова. Я, говорит, этот дед точно не будешь.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are let... Does it matter what team? Pick a team.
Ебаный раз я слышу эти слова.
You're letting them down. Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Я сейчас опять выкину его.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. The cold metal ball is surprisingly... Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there. Feet an embodiment of pure motion. A fine-tuned locomotor running at max...
Молодец. Красавчик.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters. Probably 24.
What the hell is your problem?
Так я же посмотрел.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Я же знал, что это пентак. У меня было написано.
No, no you don't. Our pétanque game is ruined. We
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it?
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe...
Yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez,
Просто печатает.
so can you really blame
Да, сейчас
them?
прилетит несколько сообщений подряд, имею в виду. Когда Андрюшка надолго замолкает, это значит, он печатает большой текст, и он у него не вписывается в одно сообщение. Он его делит и потом отправляет очередью сразу.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. No man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't secured. If the women folk take care of that, then men can tackle the bigger issues.
The RCM doesn't discriminate. Women are held to the same standards as men. And as reflected in the quarterly statistics, unlike men, they also have to deal with the very same mentality you two are displaying right now. If it weren't for this, they would outperform us.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head in these turbulent times. Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Еще собрание Ленина на ножках. Я бухать хочу.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule. Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Revachol would be a different place if more people realized that. We could still be the...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
Right. Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women.
Коммуняки и пропаганда культа секса и суицида
And we lacked caliber.
с бешеными анархистками на осколочных бомбах. Что-то какой-то странный коммунизм.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they...
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Я не помню, что мы в прошлый раз ответили. Вот мне тоже кажется второе. Ну смотри, он против коммуняк. То есть первый точно не вариант. С двоечкой у нас что-то как-то хреново все зашло в прошлый раз. То есть либо тройка, либо четверка. Знаете, четверка.
No, they don't. But I'm sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting rabid commies, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere.
Да, кстати.
Foreign influence peddling. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything. Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of
Я обиделся.
self-deceit
Не
is
буду
present
писать 5
in
минут,
his
буду
thinking.
курить.
Sounds like
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Можно, конечно, попробовать. Но нет. Так, а что у нас по этим-то? 70%. Где еще можно пошляться-то? А, вон магазин у нас есть еще один.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
books, postcards. Easy. Even a kid would know all of this. Don't be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know. to everyone.
Sir, are you okay? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Прошу, я накурился. Не прошу.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir.
Пока глицин. Тут еще и 2 этажа. О, давайте мне сборник рецептов, пожалуйста, очень надо.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Here, mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyundai. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the rows and rows of Hyundai men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundai and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyundai. Return to Hyundai. Maybe 100. Man from Hyundai and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyundai and the false god. Man from Hyundai and the scorched earth. Man from Hyundai, not even close. Man from Hyundai in hell. Man from Hyundai and the forest of slaves.
Болевой порог.
Man from Hyundai under the lake. Man from Hyundai, Hyundai burning. There's even the a twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundai in chains. Kneeling between the throne and the Hyundai man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundai, and especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also, it's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundai novels. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all age. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastic adventure board game. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting
Что ж так
Supplement,
дорого?
so it makes sense.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in... Growlbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though.
Ну где добыть денег, чтобы все это купить?
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his story. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do...
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresent. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, you see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the murder in the orchard. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the tragedy calls for Dick Mullen.
Да,
After all
остановитесь
this,
вы.
you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you.
Восемь. Да что ж вы за ироды-то такие? Как поднять бабла? Азино, 3 топора. Да. Построить коммунизм, тогда ему не нужны будут деньги. Трактат о магии фашистов. Почему нет?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime.
Так, нахер. Я не уверен, что тут что-то полезное будет.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the book?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at. This is a traditional Seminese ward. meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses. Inhabitants of Île de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains remain shut. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice—
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Магия чистой крови, определенно. Я пытался ее освоить когда-то, но не получилось. Фамилия слишком длинная. Книга не смогла поднять, чисто я или нет.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Хранись сначала.
Talking is always good. Go see the curtains tattered with age.
Нельзя. В процессе диалога сохраняться нельзя. Если только уйти сначала. А все равно.
Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insight.
Так, но...
The curtains, tattered with age and... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards.
I warned you! You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed-out, dark echo.
Но я не взломаю.
I wasn't kidding when I said we're parapsychologically done. You clearly don't care about the consequences. What gives you the right? Don't expect my help from now on. The back door is locked and I threw away the key. I won't trifle with such force. Do look at the books, though. The books compel you. You may be able to make up for this by buying a lot of books. I hope you're a voracious reader. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind you're in business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
Лучше огненным шаром. Да, вон сейчас пойдем магию фашизма возьмем и приговорим.
The woman before you scanned.
Он как раз эзотерику изучает. А это нормально, что этот молодой впереди меня бежит?
The unpromising race pupil returns. And...
Ой, не, это пропусти меня в порт. А можно я... Хотя я недавно сохранялся, ничего.
Look, babe. The fossilized rock and roll rebel challenges me, a figure of authority. He is trying to reinstate his individualism with...
Individualism has really fucked him over, Jean.
Impotent subject of pop culture. I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad, like a little boy wants to go on the potty. I can press the button for you. It will open the door. The unpromising race pupil returns. There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
А, то есть все уже.
Your love for disco music and venereal disease.
The man looks at you, silent and...
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the Frenicali. Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something your race also to serve is noble. It takes
То есть надо было...
Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Of course you are, Levasholian man. The failure of communism to, above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music? Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture has made you dress in this shameful way? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting into this harbor. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be...
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented...
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Но у нас 2 варианта. Либо загрузиться и попытаться все-таки как-то с точки зрения расы диалог построить. Либо мы можем просто заснуть хуйца.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it. I am a degenerate alcoholic.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain.
The words to the song have changed.
Your hand twists in his grip and the pain blinds you. Still you press the words out of your swollen mouth.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Oh.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. So cool. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Baye, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution,
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because that I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk.
А что тут насилуется тема гомосексуализма? Что не диалог-то начинается? Я понимаю, что... А, в смысле? Я же сохранился до того, как открыл, нет? И тут тоже закрытые эти. Вот. Нахрен туда идти незачем. Если вы хотите сделать что-то втайне от лейтенанта по дороге, улизните, пока он спит. Что у нас с мыслями? А, с мыслями нам надо было сначала поговорить. А сейчас пока с ним будем там говорить наверху на разные темы у нас. Диалог откроется. Точнее, мысль сформируется.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Или уже все-таки сформировалось? Раз это...
Racist.
Welcome to He Must Think.
I am not like them.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the philo.
The size of the earlobes is not a real...
Your earlobes are flawless, Jean-Luc.
Yes. Correct. And...
Так, ну и что же?
Everyone can see that.
Baby, don't be mean. Give him another chance.
Anything for you, babe.
Но шестое явно не то.
Look, babe. The rich man has humiliated and emasculated this couple. He can only think in base materialist.
Rich man really fucked him over.
His rage is already played out on the stage of history as the grotesque tragedy of revolution. All it can accomplish, impotent class warrior. I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad, like a very well. You may enter the door once.
Finally. Let's go.
Какая дверь-то открылась? А. Ёпт. Требуем демократии.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to...
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Couron, Coal City. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably, the head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, all items, the drawer, slide.
А нахрена мы в офис-то попали?
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. There is a white rectangle clearly visible on its...
Yes, it was probably you. It does bear the RCM insignia, after all. The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, I do.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like...
Ну вот, мы уже начинаем находить свою форму. Походу мы тут тусили, причем
This
знатно
is the
тусили.
night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, "Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather."
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized.
Let's get going. The entire neighborhood can see us up here.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of...
I'm not here to tell you what to do, detective.
You take the painkillers. They are yours now. Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of... Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else. The enormity of the case before you dwarfs the list of side effects. You stand and exit the booth.
Там, получается, сюда спускаться надо.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off.
Вот это что ли? Мы потихоньку начинаем получать больше и больше денег. О, вообще хорошо. Так, а у меня есть тут что еще можно открыть? Нет, нельзя. О, чувак сидит.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container
Что-то
song
чуваку как-то нехорошо.
as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty—
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains it's like some red infection was spreading outwards from— There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc
Да
is
нету его
guarding the
там
gate.
в офисе, что-то врешь-то.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's Union. Him and his boy stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling him to take some time off. I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Look at him. It's not gonna be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow. Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth.
Не остановить мужика.
Words. And now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fish.
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I
Что,
should
на
take on
водке,
a
что ли,
Serenad's
сделанный?
boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
В зришке, кстати, я вот сегодня человека по имени Феликс встретил. И что, в Эстонии? Или в Финляндии?
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everard is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
В электричке. Я ему покурить дал. Он на 43 километра вышел.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back,
He respects that word.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Everard
Сколько там?
trained a
О,
lawyer named Miss
это молодец,
Beaufort.
конечно.
Interesting.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Он супруга занималась танцами. Меня в детстве чуть не угораздило на чечетку пойти.
Well, thanks a lot.
Но все
Coming from you,
обошлось
it means a
вальсом.
lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Перетанцевал девчонок.
Bye-bye now.
Не вывезли. Так, давайте, наверное, опустим тот контейнер, посмотрим, что в нем, и на сегодня хватит. Который сейчас меня на дух не переносит.
A rusting control marsh. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a
Куда?
massive metal container.
Его надо было опустить. Решил проблему недостатка мальчиков. Одна ушла, другая двух друзей привела.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has moving this container, of course. For this purpose,
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
the crane does not return to its original position. Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Чего? Йорд? Ладно.
You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? It's a cargo container, detective. Just like all the other. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the union, right?
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Does you attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Хрен там кто. А я-то думал, мы откроем его. Ладно, дорогие мои друзья, давайте, наверное, на этом мы с вами остановимся. О, у нас опять можно что-то прокачать. Уровень поднялся. Давайте мы с вами на этом остановимся. Я тут все играю. А я думал, мы откроем. Вот так. Видимо, все-таки надо было создавать своего персонажа. Может быть, бы нам это как-то и помогло. В общем, дорогие мои друзья, предлагаю на этом остановиться. Всем, кто присутствовал, огромное спасибо. Куда? Я туда. Вот, прямо и налево. Вот такой конец. В общем, всем удачи, всем пока.